So my name is Valerie, and I began working with Darrell like a couple months ago. My goals were to submit an application for a master's in psychological counseling at Columbia University. In the beginning, I was completely lost. I actually reached out to my brother who had worked with Darrell in the past and was super successful, was accepted to Cornell University, and is now a lawyer and practicing law. So I knew I needed expert assistance with this process, and he was the go-to guy. So in the beginning, I was totally lost. I'd been out of school for 12 years. My undergrad was back in 2007. And so I really had no idea as what to do, as, putting together a personal statement, preparing for jury, all those different things. And Darrell just came to the rescue. I mean, since day one, speaking to him, his level of knowledge was more than what I could have imagined. Any kind of doubts or, hesitations that I had, he quickly assisted with and even surpassed, my expectations of what those things would look like. His writing ability was my first edit. I sent something and, he sent something back and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get accepted. Like, this is, my story came alive. His ability to just kind of tune in and gather who I was, and then deliver that back to me, was probably the most helpful, because I knew later on down the line that would be a skill that I would need. I would need to be able to deliver my story. So he was really helpful in that. Overall, we got the statement done. We also did a diversity statement. We worked on some video messaging skills that I needed, that I added to my application. And I felt super successful. I received an email back and was asked to come to do an interview. So thank you, Darrell. It was great. And yeah.
It's been a pleasure working with you too, really, because you have such a powerful story. I already said I think you need to write a book, but right now you have such a powerful story, and what I get out of it is not just like seeing you go to, and I forgot about your brother, working with him for Cornell Law School, but the encouragement. I love to see people achieve their dreams, and I know when you get this master's in psychology, it's going to just propel a lot of people just with your story. So I guess the only question I would ask you, because I know working with me isn't always like, what do they say, rainbows and puppies? Because I know a couple times we've done some edits and I was like, okay, just let's start all over again with that. Just that's the only question I would ask. Could you just talk a little bit about maybe some of, I don't want to say frustration, but some of the tougher parts of, and even if it wasn't the sessions directly with me, but just the process of going from really dream to manifestation, some of the tougher parts of it.
I think the tougher part was feeling like I had put everything out on paper when you required more of me and said, well, no, we need you to dig a little deeper. I think for me, because also I chose this career a little later down the road and I had thought of other things in my life, it was like, why now? Why this? And finding out that why, which I would have never even known was important until I had met with you, was the toughest part for me. I was attuned as to the kind of work ethic that you were going to expect of me because of my brother. So I did have that insight, So I wasn't surprised, but it was the heavy digging. I mean, the internal stuff that I had to do to get where you needed it to be, because I knew I could trust you, right? I knew your success was already there. But it was like, why, what about me can't deliver what he's looking for as far as that power statement, to get this message across. So that was the hardest part.
All right. Well, much success on your journey, Valerie. I appreciate it.